Here goes. Here. Here.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome everyone to our celebration this Shabbat evening. I am Rabbi Jenny Greenspan for Congregation Beth-El Zedek, and joined in our service this evening by Cantor Melissa Cohen. And we are so excited to celebrate with Josh and Jennifer Morrison, and we'll be giving a baby naming and learning baby Miles' Hebrew name later on in this service. So we'll say Shabbat Shalom and welcome to such a joyful service this evening. In order to follow along with us with our songs and with our prayers, I invite you to go over to the Beth-El Zedek website. That's bez613.org. You can go over to the virtual Shabbat resources. There you will find a PDF of the Sidur, the Kol HaNeshama Sidur, as well as a song sheet for this evening. Both are available for download for you to follow along if you would like to. And we will begin with a song from our song sheet, Ve'imru Amen, acknowledging the sacred spaces that this week's Torah portion invites us to create. I'll turn it over to Cantor Melissa.
In this home, sacred space, we are one. Together we pray. In this home, sacred space, we are one.
we have grown in the custom of inviting so many of our congregation, especially when celebrating something, to be hosts. Our hosts this evening, our Shabbat table hosts, will be the Morrison family. We have Josh and Jennifer, and Miles is already excited. Good, good. And big sister Sloan is probably running around somewhere too. But we will invite them to help us in the lighting of our Shabbat candles and our Kiddush and our Hamotzi. Let's start with Shabbat candle blessing on page 5 if you are following in the Siddur.
You want to come with us? Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We will join Miles in that Amen.
Blessed are you, source of light, our God, sovereign of all worlds, who has made us holy with your mitzvot, and commanded us to kindle the Shabbat light.
Amen. We lift our cups, our wine, our grape juice, our moment of something sweet as we go to the Kiddush on page 119 of our Siddur.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen.
Take a moment of sweetness, and then we acknowledge a moment of bounty of all that we have been blessed to receive as we uncover our chalot, we uncover the challah, and the Morrison family will lead us in Hamotzi. All of them. There she is.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
We will learn a little more about the Morrison family, and most excitingly, Miles' Hebrew name a little bit later on in the service. Right now, as we are sitting in the joys, the sweetness, and the bounties of our Shabbat table, I invite us to take a moment to bless those members of our families. So I invite everybody who has someone sitting close to you, hug them close. If there's someone in a different box on the Zoom screen, go over to the gallery and scroll through it and find them. Take a look and hold in your hearts the people you'd like to bless. For our sons, we say, Yisimcha Elohim ke'Ephraim v'chi Menashe. May you be like Ephraim and Menashe, the sons of Joseph. And for our daughters, we say, Yisimech Elohim kesara Rivka Rachel v'Leah. May you be like Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, our foremothers. And for all those whom we love, we say, Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'asem lecha shalom. May God bless you and protect you. May God show you favor and be gracious to you. May God show you kindness and grant you peace. Give the big hugs and kisses, and we will continue with our service. We're turning it back to Cantor Melissa with Shalom Aleichem on page 13 of our Siddur.
Shalom Aleichem Malach Yasharit Malach Elyon, Mimelech Malach HaMalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem Malach Yasharit Malach Elyon, Mimelech Malach HaMalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Borachem Shalom Malach Yashalom Malach Elyon, Mimelech Malach HaMalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem Malach Yasharit Malach Elyon, Mimelech Malach HaMalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Shalom Malach Yashalom Malach Elyon, Mimelech Malach HaMalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem Malach Yasharit
say in our next psalm, we say, Tov lahodot l'Adonai. It is good to give thanks to God. It's good to take note of all of the blessings that we have and to take a pause and just say thank you. And we turn to page 49 for Psalm 92, page 49.
מזמור שיר יום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, וזמר לשמך עליון, וזמר לשמך עליון, להגיד בבוקר הסלע, באמונת כל הלילות, עלי אסור עלי נבל, עלי היגיון בחינו, מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, וזמר לשמך עליון, וזמר לשמך עליון.
Continue with Lecha Dodi, a song that celebrates going out and saying to Shabbat. It is so good to have you here. It is so good to be able to be together, to spend our time resting. And so we'll do Lecha Dodi. We will do the first and last verses. So we will start on page 41 and then go to page 47.
Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. 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 Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad, yishmi'anu el ha'meyuchad, Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, u'shemo tiferet v'litira. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Vui v'shalom aterek bala, gama besimcha u'betzora, tov emune amasegula, boi chala. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela.
Welcomed in Shabbat, having had our sweetness and our bounty and greeted the moment of rest. We also look around at all of the faces that we get to see and say, how good is it? How good is it that we all get to be together? We find ways to be resilient. And so we say, Hine matov, how good it is to be together.
מה טוב ומרעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומרעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומרעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומרעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
We now take a moment in our Shabbat to recognize the oneness of God as we declare our statement of faith, the Shema. I invite you to join with me on page 65 for Shema and Ve'ahavta, and I will conclude on page 73. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meotecha vehayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom alevavecha veshinantam levanecha vedibarta bam Veshivtecha beveitecha uvelechtecha vaderech uveshochvecha uvekumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha vehayu letotafot bein einecha uchtavtam al mezuzot veitecha uvisharecha. Leman tizgeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem lelohim ani Adonai Elohechem Emet. The Ve'ahavta speaks of God's love. We know of much love in this world, and tonight we are celebrating baby naming, Hebrew name of Miles Morrison, and I will pass it to Cantor Melissa to lead us in that process.
Thank you, Rabbi Jenny, and welcome to everybody. So we are so delighted to welcome Jennifer and Josh Morrison on this Shabbat with their soon-to-be one-year-old son, Miles Davis, who will receive his Hebrew name and special blessings in just a few moments. They are joined tonight, of course, by their beautiful daughter and proud big sister, Sloan, who was named just a little more than 3 years ago at Beth-El. Special mazel tov, of course, to Miles's grandparents, Lacey Davis and Steve Davis, along with Kelly Morrison Jennings, Bob Jennings, and Byron Morrison, all joining tonight thanks to the modern marvels of technology. And in our hearts tonight and always is Miles's grandfather, Harvey Frankel, Zichrono Livracha, whose first yahrzeit we will observe in just 2 weeks. And Miles' great uncle, Ronald Becker, who Jennifer will speak more about in just a few moments. Miles is blessed to also have big sisters, Josie and Phoebe, in his life, along with many aunts and uncles, friends, and family joining us tonight from near and far. The Becker and Davis families are deeply rooted here at Beth-El Tzedek. Along with big sister Sloan, Miles now represents a 4th generation of family, paving the future for many more simchas to celebrate together, even more complete with the addition of the Morrisons. Jennifer grew up here, of course, at Beth-El Tzedek, where she was named, consecrated, became bat mitzvah, and confirmed on the bima that now bears her family name in memory of Miles's great-grandmother, Yudi Becker. So I first became acquainted with the Beckers and Davises, and now the Morrisons, because of their prime high holiday seating. And for those of you who don't know, they sit directly in front of the cantor's pulpit. And Jennifer reminisced with me how these historical seats for the family always made her Bubby, Yudi, and Zadie Irving feel closer to God. And sitting there now makes them feel closer to Bubby and Zadie. I thought they just wanted to be closer to me. Jennifer and Josh, it has been such a pleasure knowing your family now for many years. Of course, with that prime seating comes the benefit of me getting to see the special bond shared between Lisi, Jennifer, and Dara, with Josh trying to keep everybody warm because, you know, we're the cool shul, and Sloan bopping up and down. And I will say I truly missed my view this year and look forward to the day when it will be safe for us to return so I can have my new and enhanced view with Miles in sight. Jennifer informed me that Sloan is in fact raising Miles all by herself. She's 3. She's got everything completely under control, right, Jennifer? And it's a good thing because when Jennifer is in charge.
265 right here. There.
Are you taking care of everything, Sloan?
165 right.
So it's good. So she's got everything under control. And it's good because Jennifer is not, when she's not home doing her mommy role, she is being her amazing self as a special education teacher at Zionsville Community High School. And Dad Josh is director of advising for the University of Indianapolis. But truly, Jennifer and Josh tell me that Sloan loves Miles harder than anyone else. And despite being born at the start of a global pandemic, Miles is doing everything he's supposed to be doing. He's getting ready to walk, he's well-tempered and doesn't really cry much. And I know Josh and Jennifer are just as anxious as us to have everybody meet with him soon. So this Shabbat, we will finish reading the book of Exodus. And in the concluding verses, we are told of a luminous cloud that would now determine the long journey ahead for the Israelites, lifting from the Mishkan as a sign to move forward and settling over the Mishkan as a sign to pause. And this phenomenon of then certainly abounds today, truly representing God's constant and abiding presence in our lives. The cloud reminds us that on our brightest days, there is still suffering in the world. And on our darkest nights, the same luminous cloud provides a source of light, keeping us from despair. Now, Jennifer and Josh, in our conversations, you shared with me that Miles's birth was somewhat bittersweet, not just because he was born at the very start of this global pandemic that continues to this day, but also because he was born in between 2 dark times for your family, just months after losing Uncle Ronnie and days before losing our dear Harvey. So Miles became the luminous cloud, providing light along your family's journey. The book of Exodus begins with our people in misery and oppression, living in bondage in the land of Egypt, not so unlike where we all were exactly 1 year ago today. But the book ends with confidence and hope, assured that that by day and night, God's presence and spirit will guide them along their journey, not so unlike where we all are today. So what began in darkness becomes radiant illumination. Now, tradition calls for us to rise at this moment at the end of reading a book of Torah and exclaim, Chazak, Chazak, Venit Chazik, be strong, and we will all be strengthened. And Torah is considered the Eitz Chaim, the tree of life. Its roots are strengthened even more when we ourselves are rooted in Torah. So Miles, I'm going to speak to you now, just you. I hope that you one day will look back on this recording and see how very loved you are, surrounded by such strong roots to hold you up and help you grow. And today, by receiving your name as a son in the house of Israel, you too will be rooted in Torah and possess the potential to strengthen others. So I will offer you the same words of blessing that Moses gave to Joshua at the very end of the Torah, Chazak v'amatz, be strong and of good courage, because it takes courage to strengthen others. And Miles, this is my blessing for you. So I'm now going to ask for Jennifer and Josh and Miles to join me in the ceremony for his naming, and they will start us off.
We've been blessed with the gift of new life and have been privileged to participate in the marvel and beauty of creation.
By the way in which we live, we aspire to teach our son to become a caring and loving person who will also accept his responsibilities to others and to his heritage. Blessed is the holy source of light who causes parents to rejoice with their children.
God and Creator bless these happy parents with the wisdom to teach their child to be faithful to the heritage of the household of Israel. Grant him health of mind and strength of body, that he may enjoy fullness of years and live to do your will in faithfulness. And we say together, Amen.
We give to our son the name Miles Davis Morrison, in Hebrew, Ari Natan ben Rahel Yeshua, in memory of his great uncle, Ronnie Becker, and first cousin, Nathan Davis Wade.
My Uncle Ronnie and I had a very close connection. Uncle Ronnie always wanted to see me happy, and once he was able to meet Josh, he knew I truly was happy. Giving Miles the name of a beloved family member that Josh actually knew makes his Hebrew name, Ari, even more meaningful to us. Though he loved babies, Uncle Ronnie never had children of his own. Through his naming, Miles will carry on the memory of his great Uncle Ronnie Becker's name. We hope for Miles to be as loving, generous, and kind-hearted as his namesake. Nathan was my sister Dara's second-born child. Josh and I knew we wanted to name Miles after Nathan long before we learned the meaning of his Hebrew name, Natan. Interestingly, Natan means gave in the past tense. Judaism allows us to keep the memory of our loved ones alive by naming our children after those we have lost. It's special to us to give, it's so special to us that Nathan gave Miles his name. Our hope for Miles is that he will now give life, love, and memory to this name as well.
May God's blessings rest on our son, now and always.
May Miles Davis Morrison, Ari Natan, become a name respected and honored for wisdom and good deeds, Torah and Ma'asim Tovim.
As parents, we commit ourselves to be his models and guides. May God's blessings rest upon our son, now and always.
Mishaberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak veYaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah Hu Yavarech et hayeled hazeh v'yikareh shemo b'Yisrael Ari Natan ben Rachel v'Yehoshua. Hakadosh Baruch Hu yishmerechu v'yateh et lev hayeled lalechet b'darkei yishar v'hi Adonai imo v'yitain lo de'ah. Bina v'haskel, chayim v'chesed, v'racha v'shalom, v'nomar amen. Hodu l'Adonai ki tov, ki leolam chasto. Zeh hakaton Ari Natan gadol yihiyeh. May God, who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah and Rebekah, Rachel and Leah, bless this beloved child, and let his name be known in Israel as Ari Natan ben Rachel v'Yehoshua. May the Holy Blessed One protect him and incline his heart to walk in the ways of knowledge and wisdom, life and compassion, blessing and peace, and may his name be known for good. May his mother and father be privileged to see him grow in health, peace, and contentment, and we say together, Amen. Give thanks to God for what is good, for covenantal love that endures forever. May this child, Miles Davis Morrison, grow into greatness as a blessing to his family, the Jewish people, and all humanity. And now I'm going to ask everybody from wherever you are, all of your screens, not to go off mute, but just from wherever you are to repeat after me these very special words to welcome Ari Natan into our community. Kashem, Shenichnas, Labrit, Kain Yikanes, Latorah, Ulchupa, Ulma'asim Tovim. As he has entered the covenant of our people, so may he grow into a life of Torah, marriage, and family joys and good deeds. And now I'm going to ask Jennifer and Josh to raise the cup of wine or juice and once again recite from the cup of joy at this special moment. Amen. And we say together at this moment in time the blessing for all special occasions, the Shehechianu, and I will ask for once again for Josh and Jennifer and all of their family members from wherever you are, if you'd like to join with them, we say together, Baruch Atah Adonai Melech HaOlam Shehechianu Vehikianu Lazman Hazeh. Blessed are you, Adonai, source of all creation. We give thanks for life, health, and this sacred moment. And so if I were with you in person, I would take this opportunity to hold little Miles in my arms and recite this blessing upon his little cappy there. So I'm going to ask you, Jennifer and Josh, to hold him close to you. And if Sloan wants to get in there too, she certainly can, and give him lots of big hugs. And we're going to recite this beautiful blessing from the Kohanim, the same blessing that we recited earlier during our table blessings. Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha. May Adonai bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha. May Adonai illuminate your lives with grace and favor. Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'yasem lecha shalom. May Adonai show you kindness and grant you health, joys, and peace. And we can all say together to that, Amen. So, Mazel Tov to the Morrison family. We are so delighted to finally welcome Miles into our community. And there are some gifts from the congregation. I don't know if you have them nearby, but there are some small gifts oh, there they are. We've got a Beth-El bag. And if you want to take them out, there's an official certificate to take note of the special occasion with Miles's name, Ari Natan, on there. And there's a special book from Rabbi Sandy. And I think that there might be yep, there's the book. And I think, we've got our mask, safety first. And little t-shirt. I was named at Beth-El Tzedek. I think there might be an early registration, right? A bib. Is that for you, Jennifer? It looks good on you. Yeah. Okay, good. And I think there's even a baby kippah in there somewhere. I love that. That's perfect. It fits him great. Love it.
Yeah.
Well, Mazel Tov, we are so delighted to celebrate with you, and Mazel Tov to grandparents, aunts and uncles, and of course, his big sisters, and to you, Josh and Jennifer.
Thank you.
Say one more Mazel Tov. You can keep looking at little Miles, at little Ari Natan as much as you want as we continue in our service, and know that he will indeed be that radiant light of that cloud that Cantor Melissa described. And we also recognize at this moment there's some in our community who could really use that light. So we're going to ask Miles to help us shine a light on our community members that we think of who are in need of healing. As we say, God of our ancestors, as you have cared for the children of Israel, we ask you to care for our beloved community members who are in need of healing. This week, we are thinking of Jim Fleischer, Shirley Steinman, Vron Safran, Liam Samulian, Cassie Goldstein, Aaron Linderman, Rick Malecki, Lisa Sachs, Bonnie Kaplan, Elaine Safran, Larry Baker, Sue Baker, Roger Lord, Dr. Doug Packer, Elaine Gelman, Levi and Lainey Chishlom, Shoshana Batmasha, Brian Donor, Judy Satsmarie, Angela Fry, Mickey Kaur, Amy Maurer Martin, Aaron Mundy, Sheila Naklis, Don Fisher, Bernard Pilot, Rena Clark, Jean Neowiner, Doreen Gray, Deetra Mills, Marin Ehrlich, Jerry Stern, and Leica Bat Riva. As cantor Melissa will sing us the Mishaberach song found on our song sheet, I invite you to sing along from your spaces, and if there are any other names that you are holding in your heart, to share them with the community in the chat.
May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imoteinu, mekor habracha. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Say, dear God, for all those mentioned aloud and named in the chat, and all those names that we hold close, please be with them in their times of sickness and suffering. Treat them with compassion, guard them safely through danger, and lend them a portion of your strength. You now invite us to take just a couple of moments of silent Amidah time, silent prayer, an opportunity to reflect on the rest of Shabbat, the week we've had, the week we hope to have, or maybe all of our sources of luminous clouds, our sources of light and guidance. Give us a few moments of silent prayer.
Shalom Bibroma, Uyase, Shalom Aleinu. Ose Shalom Bibroma, Uyase, Shalom Aleinu. Ose Shalom Bibroma, Uyase, Shalom Aleinu. Yase Shalom. Yase Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yase Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael.
The one who creates peace on high, grant peace to us, to all the people Israel, and to all who dwell on this earth. And we say Amen.
Amen.
And this evening, as our song for inspiration, inspired by blessing beautiful little Miles Davis, little Ari Natan, we share a blessing from a grandfather in our own Torah, the blessing shared by our patriarch Jacob. If you'd like to follow along, it is called Hamalach Hagoel Oti on our song sheet.
Hamalach Hagoel Oti, Hamalach Hagoel Oti, Mimora, Yeva Be'ataleyari. Hamalach Hagoel
reached a time in our service. We acknowledge our moments of memory. We know that much of our experience of divine goodness and grace comes from those whom we have loved and lost. So we invite all who are in mourning, all who are observing a yard site, who are observing Shabbat or Shloshim, to join me this week. We extend sincere condolences to Phyllis Smith, to Lois Ben-Lova and family on the death of their beloved husband and father, Larry Smith. We continue to honor the memories of all who have died as a result of this pandemic that we face as a nation and as a worldwide community. We are mindful tonight of the approaching first yard site of Harvey Frankel, of little Miles's grandfather. So I invite all who are in mourning to join me in the Mourner's Kaddish. It's a Yitkadal v'Yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach lirutei, ve'amlich malchutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei zechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv ve'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam ulmei amaya. Yitbarach ve'yishtabach ve'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha berechu. Le'ela mikol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiram ve'alma ve'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru amen. May their memories always bring us comfort and peace. May we always remember and hold on to those who have led the way in our lives. You can end the screen share. And we'll say Shabbat Shalom for our closing song this evening, inspired by Shabbat HaChodesh, which is the very subtle rabbi, very subtle rabbis telling us that Pesach is coming, that Passover is just 2 weeks away. And we start to get excited about it. And so we will sing in honor of
the word, Rabbi?
Exciting is the word.
Yes.
And we will honor that and recognize that upcoming celebration by concluding with Ozi v'zimrat yah. Adonai is my strength. We can sing and be a source of help, song sung as we went through the split waters. So join on the song sheet, Ozi v'zimrat yah.
Ozi v'zimrat yah, vayeli Yeshua. 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 Ozi v'zimrat yah, vayeli Shabbat Shalom.
Say Shabbat Shalom. Please welcome everyone who is here to celebrate with the Morrison family, and I invite everyone to join us tomorrow morning. I will do the Torah Talk at 9:30 a.m. on Facebook Live, and at 10 o'clock we will have our Shabbat morning service live stream. So please feel free to continue joining us throughout this Shabbat. And for now, we can all come off of mute and say Mazel Tov and Shabbat Shalom.
Mazel Tov, Shabbat Shalom.
Mazel Tov, Shabbat Shalom. Anytime this
Sorry.
they can see us.
Mazel tov.
Not to have big picture.
Mazel tov.
We have no control over that.
Hi, all.
Hello. Alvin.
Shalom. Mazel tov.
Shabbat shalom, guys. Bye, pilot. Shalom.
Last one on loses.
How do we get there? They control that.
Thank
you, Rabbi. I have.
I just noticed this guy is wearing a tuxedo shirt.
Yes, he is.
Oh, so cute. I used to have one of those.
Rolling.
Wait.
So cute. Oh my
Thank you, Rabbi and Cantor, for leading us in service tonight.
Absolutely. You get Rabbi Dennis in the morning. Oh, there he is.
Thanks for coming, everybody.
Oh, we're so happy.
Elise.
Thank you, Cantor, Melissa. That was really, really nice.
Thank you,
Jesse,
Lisa.
you're muted.
Mazel
How come
tov.
everybody got to go to Jennifer's house but us?
Just there.
Not true.
I got to have a porch visit with Lisi the other day.
Very briefly.
Very
This is the most
briefly.
contact I've had with the outside world in 2 years.
There it is.
Cantor, this is so beautiful. Thank you
Good
for
picture showing family.
Jessica John.
Rabbi Jenny.
Both on my screen.
Mazel tov.
Hi,
don't know if she can hear me. Yeah.
Roz. Oh, hi, Roz.
I hear her.
Hi. Mazel tov.
I love
Hi,
you together,
Abby.
bow hearts, everybody. It's so good to see you.
Here.
Hi, Andy.
Sarah, you're dark. Your screen
I
is
know,
so
my lights are
dark.
out. I know.
I like that
Oh my
kid's tuxedo.
gosh.
She's gone.
Hi, Andy.
Family.
Well, I see your glasses, your glare.
Eric, can you make your screen darker?
Let's see what I can
Make
do.
it darker for us.
I'm in witness
I
protection.
can't see you.
I know, right?
Hang on a second. Lights off.
It's not
I'm
even
doing
back.
this for Andrea.
Oh, and there's Andrea too.
Mhm.
Oh, good. Yay.
Jeff and Barbara still there.
Very nice. Oh,
Does anybody
Ozzy, you
know-
look amazing.
I
Does
think that
anybody
was
know
us.
which kid they like
nice
more?
Thank you. And there's Jessica.
That was us,
Jessica
but we were
and-
on gallery. They
Jessica
just
and Jennifer
highlighted
could
them.
totally be twins,
Oh my gosh. My whole life I've heard that.
right? What's your age difference?
Like almost 2 years and 2 weeks to the
Oh, wow.
day.
Amazing.
Yeah. Hi, Miles.
Jessica, why does your dad look so old? Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Is my mute off? I didn't know that. Hello, Steven. Can you hear us?
It's the poor lighting.
No, it's not. He's got great lighting.
I think we can't see Adam because he's back trying to read his comic book.
I'm back. I didn't. Leasing was incredible.
Oh boy.
Oh, not in the same. Don't get in the same frame with him because then you got to compare you both, and it's not going to work out for Steve. Where did Dara go?
Do you want to come say hi?
So nice.
Huh?
Is Dara in a different time zone? It keeps getting darker there.
Oh my God.
I
Yeah.
think she just lives around the corner from me, so no.
Right? Yes, I know.
I'm going Dara
I'm in a
dark.
hole. I'm in a hole.
I'm going Dara dark.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, we will see you in the morning. Shabbat shalom and mazel tov.
Shabbat shalom.
This has
Shabbat
been
shalom.
fun.
Shabbat
What
shalom.
a perfect,
Bye, everybody,
perfect
for
little
another
baby boy.
year.
Bye.
Yay.
Bye,